Hello everyone, we're going to continue talking about things we bring up Mount Rainier, continue talking about our gear. We're going to focus a little bit more on the specialty stuff, also some things we forgot to cover in the clothing video, like a sun hat, obviously. Not too much to say about sun hats. I like these 5 panels with the brim, because you can put a helmet over top of them, and you can still get a little sun protection. Alright, other things we forgot to talk about is eye protection. It's super important on Rainier. You want dark sunglasses, so you can either go for glacier glasses, like what Patrick has here, and what you'll notice about those is they've got the little leather things on the side to prevent sun from getting in the side, or you can go for a large lens wraparound sunglass like I have here. You'll notice when I put these on, it covers all the way around the side of my eyes, and both of these are very dark, so you want a category 3 or a category 4 lens. So you should be looking at less than 10% VLT, which stands for visible light transmission. That's very important. Do not bring Cat 2 sunglasses or Cat 1 sunglasses up Mount Rainier. You will fry your eyes, and you will literally be rubbing them for days. We took Cat 2, same with Shasta, we took Cat 2 sunglasses on Shasta and it went very poorly. Moving on to other stuff, avalanche conditions, we don't know what they're going to be, so you're going to want to have a beacon shovel probe ahead of time. It's pretty explanatory. The shovel, in particular, you're definitely going to need a shovel. No question about a shovel. You need that to build camp, fortify camp. That's the super useful thing to have. And then, of course, an avalanche beacon. Better not to buy the secondhand. Headlamp, nice and powerful. Good quality headlamp. You don't want it going out on you. Spare batteries for that and your beacon, good to have as well. A climbing helmet. They don't have to be crazy expensive. Just make sure they've got some little clips for headlamp retention. Make sure it fits you as well. This is a black diamond half dome, pretty cheap. I have a nicer one. Not necessary for you to have a nicer one, but definitely necessary to have one. Moving on, we have our climbing harness. This is a very small, lightweight harness. It doesn't really matter. Just think about you're going to have to walk for upwards of 20 hours a day in it. These little Black Diamond ones are on sale at Black Diamond. If you go to the outlet on sale under their website, $30 gets you this one. Think about you also have to put it on over layers and potentially with crampons on. Dry rope, not everyone needs these. Every rope team needs one. Anywhere from 30 to 50 meters is a good length. 30 is on the shorter side. 40 is a pretty good length if you want a pretty good all-arounder rope. Should be a dry rope. This is a 7.9. The smaller diameter rope you go, the harder it is for prussics, and you have to grab onto it in crevasse rescue. So you got to kind of think about that a little bit when you're buying rope.
And really quickly, before we get too into the weeds on crevasse rescue equipment and carabiners and such, let's just cover the rest of our basic mountaineering equipment. I have an ice axe right here. Super simple. This is a Petzl Summit Evo. If you're looking for an axe, this is a great one. The Black Diamond Raven is one of the straight shaft Black Diamond axes. They all work great.
If you're buying your first ice axe, just spend the extra money and get that one. You'll get rid of the Raven eventually. They kind of suck.
And then the other thing is a pair of crampons right down here. See my crampons, these are a pair of Gravel G12s. This is a full auto crampon. There are multiple styles of crampons that exist. This is a full auto, so it has a toe bail and a heel bail, and I just clip into it automatically. They also have semi-auto crampons, which have a plastic toe bail that you strap on, and then they also have full strap-on crampons, which the whole thing is run by straps. It really depends upon what boots you have and if you're planning on using them with boots that aren't compatible with full auto crampons, but you can do your research on that one here.
The Gravel G12 is sort of the world's best mountaineering crampon. There pretty much is no better crampon than general mountaineering crampon, I should say, than the Gravel G12. Make sure you have steel crampons for Rainier because you could be on ice and rock, and aluminum will not work on ice and rock. We strongly recommend 12-point crampons. We probably won't turn you away for 10-point crampons, but you're going to have a really rough time, and it's going to compromise your safety a little bit potentially, depending on what the conditions look like out there. If you're going to buy crampons, if you haven't bought crampons already, just buy 12 points. Like, do not kid yourself with 10-point crampons. I don't personally see a good reason to buy them.
kind of moving on, we got some radios here. This isn't a 100% necessary item, but if you have it, bring it with you. Great for group communication if we're going to have multiple groups on the mountain. Just having a little radio with you to communicate. This is a super cheap one. You can probably pick it up at Walmart or Amazon for, 10, 15 bucks for a set of two. And then this is a very nice BCA link radio. They do the same thing. They talk on the same channel. So if you have one of these, you can talk to us on one of those. Moving on, this right here is a Zaleo satellite communicator. Pretty much, or I would say everybody should have one of these. This is pretty much a requirement if you get into a sticky situation. Having a satellite communicator will help you out a lot. And they have this little SOS button on them. So even when your phone doesn't have signal, you can let people know that you are in distress and you need help.
Another flavor of that is the Garmin InReach. A little bit more cost up front on the Garmin InReach, but it does have a cheaper satellite plan. You have to subscribe, just like a phone plan, to those. The Zaleo is quite a bit cheaper up front, but you do have to, it has to piggyback off your phone, so it requires your phone to have battery to send messages. But you can download stuff like weather on that as well. So they're pretty useful. They're not a 100% requirement. We're not going to turn you away if you don't have one, but it's a good idea to have for safety. There's going to be enough within our group on Rainier that we should be okay. But especially if you want to go off in smaller groups, definitely look at getting one of those.
Alrighty, now into the weeds.
Pickets.
We have pickets right here. These are our primary snow anchor when we're on Rainier. For crevasse rescue. For those of you who saw or came to our crevasse demos, you saw how these could be used to create a snow anchor using the Magic X with some webbing. As an alternative, if the snow is firmer and is actually ice, we have another type of anchor right here. If you have one, they're great, but you don't need one. This is an ice screw. So you screw it into ice and you can use that as an anchor in super, super hard ice. However, this is not required on Rainier. We won't turn you away for not having that, but if you don't have a picket, at least one, you will be turned away from our team on Rainier. You absolutely.
And actually, you will be turned away by the Park Service. They will not let you climb without a picket. One more note about ice screws. They're pretty expensive. One screw is about $60. They're pretty expensive. I wouldn't make an effort to go out of your way and get one of these. We just happen to pick some up pretty cheap. I would carry one on Rainier just in case I find myself in a crevasse and its rescue's really tough for whatever reason. They need to make adjustments to the rope. I can just put myself direct into the ice into one of these and take the load off the rope. So not a requirement at all. If you have it, great. If you don't have it, whatever. Okay, crevasse rescue stuff. I'll try and keep this as brief as it can be. Let's start with easy stuff. Bring a belay device with you. They're not that heavy, they're not that expensive, and we just don't know what kind of situation we'll end up in. So always good to have one of those with you. So you need at least 4, maybe 5 prusik cords. I would lean on the 5 side would be good. So personal prusik cords, mine have all been jumbled up here, so I'm not sure which are which. You have one for your feet that go on the rope, and then one for your harness or your hips that goes on the rope as well. Guides for how to tie that stuff. Mountaineering Freedom in the Hills. If you don't own the book already, owning that book is paramount to success on Mount Rainier. Definitely own that book. I would say 2 to 3 of these rescue pulleys. I would again favor 3, so you can do a 5-to-1 haul system, and then some good carabiners to go with that. And 2 or 3, I recommend 3 regular sized prusiks. Again, information on tying those and using those Mountaineering Freedom in the Hills at your place. You want to have some good locking carabiners. I'd say 2 or 3 is probably a good number. They sell them in packs of 3, so maybe just pick up a pack of 3. I would maybe keep that separate to this one. I keep that one separate. Need some webbing for anchors. I like to carry 2 with me, 1 for each picket. One as a spare. I don't like this kind of cord, but I've lost my other one. I don't know where it went. I like that. That's called Alpine Draw style runner. It's just Dyneema. I like that stuff better. It's lighter weight. And then I also bring some. These are crap carabiners that I picked up secondhand. I inspected them before buying them. I picked those up for a couple of dollars. Those are just, oh, I lost a carabiner. Oh, I dropped a carabiner. Oh, we need a carabiner for this unusual rescue situation we found ourselves in. Good to have that kind of stuff. I believe that pretty much covers everything we have here.